Hello, welcome to Gurukul's CAT 100 series, a series that's designed specifically to take you from your study room to the corporate boardroom. I am Prady Sharma and this is Verbal Mastery with Prady. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Now, in case you want to take this up as a test, then all you've got to do is go on to www.thegurukul.org.in and register for the 100 days to CAT test series. Now, in this 100 days to CAT test series, we're going to be giving all of these resources for free. We'll be uploading Quant, VA, LRDI, all the 3 tests for all the 100 days so that you can stay consistent with your CAT prep and crack CAT 2025. Now, without any further ado, let's get into the passage. So, this is your first paragraph. Pause the video here, read this paragraph, jot down all the main points, and then we'll go into the second paragraph. Now, this is your second paragraph. Pause the video here, jot down all the main points, and then we'll go into the third and the last paragraph. Now, this is the third paragraph. Pause the video here, jot down all the main points, and then we'll go into the questions. So, this is your question number 1. Take 1 minute to answer it. Pause the video here. This is your question number 2, guys. Take 1 minute to answer it. Pause the video over here. This is your question number 3, guys. Pause the video here. Take 1 minute to answer. And this is your question number 4, guys. Pause the video here, take 1 minute to answer. Now that we're done with all the questions, please tell us your answers in the comment box. Let's see how many you have gotten correct at the end of this video. While studying brain scans for patterns that correlated with psychopathic behavior, James Fallon found that his own brain fit the profile. Compared to a control brain, neuroscientist James Fallon's brain showed significantly decreased activities in the areas of frontal lobe linked with empathy and morality, which are anatomical patterns that have been linked with psychopathic behavior. So when this author or when a neuroscientist James Fallon was studying, what was he studying? Brain scans for people whose brain fit the profile of a psychopath. He found that his own brain also fit that profile because the frontal lobe is this part. Okay, the activity in that frontal lobe was severely decreased, which showed that empathy and morality would be low in this particular person. Many of us would hide this discovery out of fear of being labeled as a psychopath, perhaps because of boldness and disinhibition or noted psychopathic tendencies. Fallon had gone all in towards the opposite direction, telling the world about his finding. But what's he saying? A lot of us would have hidden this fact. Why? Because if we find out that our own brain fits the profile of a psychopath, maybe we'll feel a little ashamed. Maybe we'll think that, okay, if we put this news out in the world, we'll be labeled as a psychopath. So a lot of us will not go out and tell this. But James Fallon, what did he do? He did the exact opposite. He went forward and he told the entire world that, hey, listen, my brain also fits the brain of a psychopath. Why? Because usually he's saying perhaps because boldness and disinhibition. Disinhibition means what? You're uninhibited. Uninhibited. There's nothing stopping you from doing this. Okay. So boldness, you're very, very bold. You're very courageous. Okay. These are psychopathic tendencies. So maybe because of his psychopathic tendencies, he went forward and he told the whole world about how his brain is. Fallon seeks to reconcile how he, a family man, could demonstrate the same anatomical patterns that mark the minds of serial killers. So Fallon now wants to find out why or how is his brain also showing the same patterns of that of a serial killer, especially when he's a family man. He's a nice person. Okay, let's go into the second paragraph. The first thing I thought was that maybe my hypothesis was wrong and that these brain areas are not reflective of psychopathic or murderous behavior, he says. But when he underwent a series of genetic tests, he got more bad news. I had all these high-risk alleles. Now, what is an allele? Allele is a small part of a gene. Okay, it's a small part of a gene that expresses certain behaviors or expresses certain tendencies. Okay, so I had all these high-risk alleles for aggression, violence, and low empathy, such as the variant of MAOA gene that has been linked with aggressive behavior. Now, what happened? This fellow thought that, okay, maybe if I go and get some genetic testing done, okay, maybe my brain areas are not really reflective of these murderous or psychopathic tendencies, so I'll go get the genetic testing done. When he went and he got the genetic testing done, he got more bad news. He found out that he had a gene, MAOA gene, which actually is linked with aggressive behavior. Eventually, based on further neurological and behavioral research into psychopathy, he decided he was indeed a psychopath, just relatively a good kind, what he and the others call a pro-social psychopath, someone who has difficulty feeling true empathy for others, but still keeps his behavior roughly within the socially acceptable bounds. So what does this mean? He's saying that, okay, yes, now that I've gone through extensive testing, I understand that I'm a psychopath, but I'm a good psychopath, okay? I'm not someone who'd go and murder people. I know how to keep my behavior under control. I just am someone who cannot feel so much empathy towards other people, okay? It wasn't entirely a shock to Fallon, as he'd always been aware that he's someone especially motivated by power and manipulating others. Additionally, his family line includes 7 alleged murderers, okay? So what is this? It didn't come as a shock to him. It was not like, oh my God, my whole world has changed. Why? Because throughout his life, he somewhere or the other, okay, knew that he liked power. He liked manipulating people for power. And his family bloodline had 7 alleged. Alleged means not convicted. They were not proven to be murderers, but they were just told as they were murderers, okay? But the fact that a person with these genes and a brain of psychopath could end up non-violent, stable and successful scientist made Fallon reconsider the ambiguity of the term. So what is this point talking about? He's now telling that, okay, although he had such a brain and such a genes, okay, someone turning up to be so successful, non-violent, such a nice person in nature, okay, this now makes him think about the meaning of the term psychopath altogether, okay. Not all psychopaths kill. Some, like Fallon, exhibit some other sorts of psychopathic behavior. So not every psychopath will come and kill you. They might exhibit certain other types of behaviors. Now let's see what is this other types of behaviors in the paragraph number 3. I'm obnoxiously competitive. That means I'm frustratingly competitive. I'm very, very competitive. That's what he says. I won't let my grandchildren win games. I'm mean and I do insensitive things that irk people. What is the meaning of irk, guys? Irk means to annoy. Okay, so he's very competitive. He won't let people win at all, and he does things to keep on annoying people. But while I'm aggressive, my aggression is sublimated. Now this is a very, very important word for us to know, guys. Sublimated means diverted into socially productive activities. Okay, diverted into socially acceptable activities, right? So although he is very aggressive, yes, his aggression is not direct. It's not like he'll go and kill someone. He does something else, okay? I'd rather beat someone in an argument than beat them up. So he'd rather talk people down in an argument than go and bash them. Why has Fallon been able to temper his behavior? That means how has he been able to control his behavior while other people with similar genetics and brain turn up violent and end up in prison? So the author is now questioning, what did Fallon do different? Okay, why is Fallon able to control his behavior where other people with similar genetics and brain are not able to do that? Fallon was once a self-proclaimed genetic determinist, but his views on the influence on genes and behavior have evolved. That means what? Once upon a time, he was someone that he himself would call, or his own behavioral patterns were that he was a genetic determinist. That means he was very confident that genes determine how your behavior would be. But now his views have changed. He now believes that his childhood prevented him from heading down a scarier path. I was loved and that protected me. He says he was given an especially heavy amount of attention from his parents, and he thinks that played a key role. So what's he talking about? The author is telling that yes, during the childhood, Fallon was very loved. He was given a lot of attention, and that made him not go down the serial killer path. Okay. His particular allele for a serotonin transporter protein present in the brain. So serotonin, guys, is the happy hormone. Okay, this is what makes you happy, and his particular allele, that means that gene component, okay, for serotonin transporter protein present in the brain is believed to put him at a high risk for psychopathic tendencies. So that allele is making him be at a higher risk. That's all you need to understand from this. Okay, but further analysis has shown that it can affect the development of the ventromedial prefrontal cortex. Okay, now what is this ventromedial prefrontal cortex? Again, don't confuse yourself with the names. Just look at what it is. The area with characteristically low activity in psychopaths. So apparently, okay, further analysis has shown that it can affect the development of some area which has extremely low activity in psychopaths. That's all you need to understand. So it can open up the region to more significantly affected by environmental issues. It can open up the region to be more significantly affected by environmental influences, and so a positive childhood is especially pivotal in determining behavioral outcomes. Pivotal, what is the meaning of the word pivotal, guys? Pivotal means important. Okay, so since this area is more open by environmental influences. How his childhood was actually determined his behavior and the behavioral outcomes. Overall, what do we understand from this passage? We understand that although Fallon, who had a brain of a psychopath and the genes of a psychopath, he was not really a psychopath because of the love and affection that his parents showered on him during his childhood, and that changed his behavioral outcomes. Now that we have understood the passage, let's get into the questions. Question number 1. According to the passage, James Fallon revealed the discovery of his own psychological profile to the public for which of the following reasons? Now, we clearly know that he revealed it to the public because of his psychopathic tendencies of being disinhibited, yes, and very bold, right? So let's search for an answer of that sort. He sought fame by presenting his own case as one of the intriguing, especially because of his success. Again, nowhere in the passage has he told that he sought fame. So this would be an out of scope choice for us, so we can remove this. He expected to be congratulated for his honesty and lack of inhibition in presenting the truth about himself. Now see, there is lack of inhibition, but he did not expect it to be congratulated for his honesty at all. So again, this is an opposite, it's a kind of a rephrased answer which we should not be taking up. Okay, he knew enough about human psychology to be able to predict the likely reaction of his admission. This could be true, but it's not told to us in the passage, right? So this is again an out of scope answer. His particular profile encouraged socially uninhibited behavior and diluted his emotional reaction to the public exposure. Yes, since he had psychopathic genes, he was very uninhibited and he did not care. He was very bold, so he did not care about the public's reaction. So the best possible answer is D. Now let's go into the second question. The central idea of the passage is, so what's the main idea of the passage? Anatomical patterns in the human behavior have no relation to psychopathic behavior? No. There is some relation. Obviously, James Fallon also agrees that he is a psychopath, so this should not be our answer. Environmental factors rather than genetics play a pivotal role in determining violent behavior. Yes, this is what's been told, that James Fallon did not turn violent because of his environmental factors, which is the love and attention that his parents have given. So this is a good answer for us to consider if the other answers do not fit the profile. Environmental factors neutralize the influence of genes on behaviors. See, neutralize means completely take off. That's not happening. No, they're adding up to it, right? So again, I can remove C. Genetic determinism is an unreliable theory to explain aggressive and murderous behavior. Again, nowhere have we told that this is an unreliable theory. We are just saying that there could be other causes apart from genes. So we can take this as off as well. The best possible answer will be B. Now, for the third question, it can be inferred from the passage that Fallon's childhood experience. So, how did Fallon's childhood experience shape things for him? Made him uninhibited to declare the results of his psychopathic tendencies to the public. See, it's not because of his childhood experience that he, had the uninhibitedness. It's because of his psychopathic tendency that he was uninhibited. So I can remove A. Warranted an examination of the childhood of all those brain scans that matched Fallon's. See, again, maybe after this passage ended, whatever Fallon did, it's none of our concern. As far as the passage is concerned, this is not given in the passage. So this could be an out of scope choice, and I'm going to remove this. Had a greater influence on his behavior than his genetic predisposition for violence. Predisposition, that means already determined thing. So obviously his genetic predisposition was towards violence, but his childhood actually had a bigger influence, had a more important influence, right? So this is one of the best answers so far. Let's look at D also and then decide if C should be our answer. Made him free of any anxiety about the biological markers of psychopathy in himself? No, they did not make him free of everything. He constantly went back and searched for things, right? So I cannot say that this is true. So the only thing that I can say with certainty is that C is the correct answer. Now let's go into the fourth question. According to the passage, why was Fallon indeed a psychopath in his own opinion? So according to the passage, why did Fallon feel that he is a psychopath himself? Okay, he was unwilling to help other human beings if it meant inconvenience to himself. Again, this was not told to me in the passage, so this is going to be an out of scope choice, so I can remove this. He was particularly inspired by his desire to control others. Yes, he told that he was very manipulative, he wanted power, so this could be an possible inference that we can take. He had a tendency towards violent behavior and inability to feel remorse for his own actions. Although they told that, he did not have empathy, which kind of fits this part, there was no tendency towards violent behavior, right? So this should not be my answer. He preferred to isolate himself from the society for the fear of being unaccepted. Again, he was a family man. He went into the society. There were a lot of friends. He was a neuroscientist. He was very successful. So obviously this should not be our answer. The best possible answer now becomes B. Now that you've finished answering all the questions, tell us in the comments how many questions you've gotten correct, what was the favorite part about this passage, and if you have any doubts, please do not hesitate to put it down in the comments. Share this video with all your friends who are preparing for CAT 2025 and help them get this one passage everyday habit. Drop a like if you've stayed till here because that motivates us to keep making such videos for you, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hope you enjoyed learning from today's session.
This series is designed to help you with your CAT preparation and practice daily. We are with you in this journey.
To watch the next video, click here. And to watch Gurukul's CAT 100 series, study room to boardroom, the entire playlist, click here.
If you learned from today's session, like, share, and subscribe.